thrilled to see my sister Opalescent with her little family.
Yeah, tell me, are they here for a long mooch or a short mooch?
They are not moochers. This is our side of the family.
They're staying at a hotel, George. You know, Mama, the thing that impressed me about Opalescent and Sam is that they seem to be so happy. And I have an idea. It's all because they have a child.
Oh, that little horse is such a little doll. I just couldn't stop loving him.
You know, Mama, everybody thinks Horace looks just like you.
Well, they're doing great things with plastic surgery these days.
Forehead. You with that fire break down the middle of your head.
You know, George, looking at little Horace, I couldn't help thinking what a wonderful thing a child would be for us.
Now, hold everything.
George, if we was to adopt a child, I think it would make a big difference in our home.
Now, see yourself out.
George, I mean it. Have you ever stopped to think why we ain't as happy as we was 22 years ago?
Well, for one thing, we got married.
George, I'm serious. I think if there was a little child in this home, it would give us a new interest in life.
Well, I agree. We could use that all right.
Just think, George, you and your little son going for a walk in the park, going to the zoo, playing ball together. This would be wonderful, George.
Say, I think you got something there. Take the little child under my wing, guide it through life. In other words, I could teach it everything I know and mold its character so it grew up to be just like its daddy.
Oh, what a thing to do to a harmless little child.
Sapphire done come in talking about adopting a baby. And I tell you, son, it's got me to thinking.
Yeah, that's something to think about, all right, Kingfish. You adopting the baby. But I don't know if you is the maternal type or not. Well, you got to understand babies. You got to know what to do for him when he starts crying.
Oh, Eddie, that's the easiest thing in the world. When a baby starts crying, 9 times out of 10, it means he got a little air on his stomach. All you got to do is pick him up, throw him over your shoulder.
Yeah, but that's going to be kind of hard on the kid every time he hits the floor, ain't it?
Oh, Eddie. When you put the kid on your shoulder, that don't mean that... Hello?
Hello, George. Say, listen, Opalescent and I are going shopping this afternoon, and Mama's been taking care of little Horace all morning. Now, she's on the way over to the office with the boy now, and you can take care of him for the rest of the afternoon.
Me take care of him? What's the matter with Sam?
Sam will be busy this afternoon. He's closing a deal for a big job in Mexico.
Say, I got work to do here. I ain't got no time for that.
George, I thought since we were talking of adopting a baby, you would enjoy spending a little time with Horace this afternoon.
Well, you might have an idea there. Certainly wouldn't do no harm to get the feeling of the thing. Oh, wait a minute. That might be your mama now. I just heard the front door slam here. Oh, yeah? Okay, honey. Goodbye. Oh, it's you.
Well, George, this is little Horace. Now, see that he gets back to his hotel in time for dinner.
I'll do that, Mama.
All right, I'll be running along. Now, try to be a good boy, Horace, and try not to pick up any bad habits. Goodbye, Horace.
Goodbye, Grandma.
Hello there, Horace. Me and you gonna have a little talk. Do you know who I am?
Yeah, you're Aunt Sapphire's husband. You're the guy that don't work.
Got you begged, all right.
And you're Annie Brown. You don't work either.
Glad to meet you.
Horace, I'm your uncle. And being your uncle, I want to get better acquainted. Now give your old Uncle George a great big kiss.
A kiss? Are you out of your mind?
Oh, go ahead and kiss him. He's a nice uncle.
Well, if he's so nice, you kiss him.
Horace got a nice start here to be a juvenile delinquent, ain't it?
What, you become a beauty again?
No thanks, Horace. I don't want to hear no more of that.
Okay,
Come on.
here we go.
try to talk him into running away from home.
That kid being tested for rabies.
Oh, gee, look at the fire. Boy, what a big fire. Amazing, look.
Danny, most of my insurance policies done lapsed up. And I can't take no chances here. Will you take that kid home to the hotel and let him wrestle with his pants? Oh, please, Andy, take him home, please.
Okay. Come on, Horace. You take him.
Oh, no, Andy, take him, please.
Well, I better take this cane in case I sprains my ankle. Come on, Horace.
All right, Mr. Brown. Well, before I go, Uncle George, I'd like to whisper something to you.
Well, what is it?
This is just for you. Will you lean over and bend your ear down?
All right, honey boy, there you is. A little monster.
Uncle George, come on, Mr. Brown.
Think I'll be running along, Kingfish.
What do you say, Andy?
I say I'll be running along. Come on, Horace.
Yeah, and I going home and tell Sapphire that adopting the baby is out. And if ever I had any such ideas on the subject, that horse done blowed them clean out of my head.
Uncle George.
Sapphire, I've been waiting for you all afternoon, and I got something to tell you about adopting a kid.
George, I got something to tell you. I just came back from the foundling home, and I saw the most adorable baby there ever was.
Now, wait a minute here.
George, it's the perfect baby for us, and I know it'll make us the happiest people in the world.
Yeah, I spent 5 minutes this afternoon with an adorable little boy, and I was lucky enough to come out of it alive. That Horace is a killer.
Oh, George, maybe today was just one of Horace's off days. But this baby I saw, he is heavenly.
Look, Sapphire, I got my hands full with you and Mama, and I ain't interested in opening up a new front.
Why don't the doctor to show him to you? Now, promise me you'll go over and look at him. He's just 6 months old, and he is adorable.
Well, all right, I'll go over and look at him, but that's all. As it is, I'm liable to go through life with a fractured cranium.
Kingfish, as long as you change your mind about adopting the baby, what is we doing here?
Well, I told Sapphire I'd come by here and see the baby, but that's all I'm going to do. I just want to keep my promise.
Well, Mr. Stevens, here we are.
Nice-looking baby. Thank you, Doctor. See you again sometime. Let's go in.
Just a minute, Mr. Stevens. I'll pick him up so you can get a better look at him.
Oh, no, it ain't necessary to go to all of that trouble. I done sized him up.
No, not at all, Mr. Stevens. Seems like he's not in the mood just now to be picked up.
Baby's is crazy about me. Mind if I pick him up?
Why, no, go right ahead, Mr.
Brown is the name.
Put him down, Andy. Sounds like he's going to grow up to be the bugle-blowing type to me.
I'm sorry he's a little out of sorts.
Yeah, look like he don't want to be picked up all right. Come on, Andy, let's get on out here.
Mr. Stevens, why don't you try holding him?
Me? Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Kingfish. Just hold him once. He's a cute little fella.
Well, then I can tell Sapphire that I had him in my arms. Look at that, Andy. He's cooing. Andy, he's cooing.
Why, that's simply amazing. He seems perfectly content in your arms.
Well, Doctor, you better know how to pick up these kids, else you ain't going to get no place.
Doctor, he wanted us to telephone.
Well, thank you. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Come on, Andy, let's go. No use hanging around here.
Hello? Hello? Oh, yes, Miss Stevens. He's here now.
Well, tell me, Doctor, how did he react when he saw the baby?
Well, I'm afraid, Miss Stevens, he wasn't too enthusiastic. Well, it's just one of those things. Well, that's all right, Miss Stevens. Yes, I'm sorry, too.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye.
Well, this some kid all right, Doc. Yeah, listen at him talk there. Why, he's smart. He liable to grow up to be one of them child tragedies.
Yeah, he's a nice kid, all right.
Yeah, take it there, Andy. Now, hand him back here. Well, I like this one, Doc. Wrap him up.
I'm afraid, Miss Stevens, it's not as simple as that. Mr. Stevens, there's one formality that we require before you can adopt one of our babies.
And what's that, Doctor?
Well, to make sure you have a stable financial record, we'll send an investigator around to check on your current financial standing and your past business experience.
You mean you gonna investigate my business record?
Yes, we must do that, Mr. Stevens, for the security of the child. So all you have to do now, Mr. Stevens, is let us know when it will be convenient for our investigator to call.
Hey, what's the matter, son?
Oh, hello, Amos. Amos, tell me, you got 3 kids. Kids is a whole lot of bother, ain't they?
Well, Kingfish, taking care of kids is naturally a lot of work. But I tell you one thing, it's the nicest work any man could wish for.
Yeah, but they eat a whole lot and they get in all kind of trouble and all that stuff, don't they?
Yeah, kids is some trouble, all right. But you know, anything worth having ain't easy. Oh, the greatest pleasure I've got out of life is my 3 children.
Amos, you ain't gonna be a bit of help to me.
What you talking about, Kingfish?
Well, me and Sapphire want to adopt a baby from the foundling home, but they ain't gonna let us have him when they find out my financial background.
Oh, yeah, I know they're plenty particular about that.
Yeah, but if I had a good paying taxi business for years like you got, why then they'd let me have him. Amos, I just wondered if you couldn't go to the foundling home and adopt the baby, and then you could sublease him to me.
No, I hardly think so, Kingfish. But I really wish I could help you. The only thing I can do is promise you a steady job if you do get the baby. I'll get you a job driving a taxi. But as far as your past business record goes, I don't think nobody can help you there, Kingfish.
Hi, Calhoun.
Well, hi, Andy. What brung you up here?
Calhoun, I got to speak with you right away. The Kingfish got a big problem, and we don't know what to do.
Well, we can do just what we've done them other 5 times. Bail him out.
Oh, no, Calhoun. This is different. The Kingfish is crazy to adopt a baby over to foundling home. But they got a rule over that. Whoever adopts a baby has got to have a certain financial background.
Oh, I see. And with the Kingfish, that is a problem. On the basis of his finance, he couldn't adopt a gopher.
Yeah, that's the kind of they want. Some of these big rich men with big offices and everything.
Yeah, you said something there, Andy. Wait a minute. My brain is percolating.
Yeah.
It's coming to a boil. It's boiling. Andy, I've got it. There's a friend of mine by the name of Mr. Henderson, got a big office over on Lenox Avenue. Now, he done gone to Chicago on business, and he left the keys with me so I can pick up the mail.
Well, what about it?
Well, don't you see? The Kingfish can take over Mr. Henderson's office like it was his own. Then when the investigator come up there, he'll say that the Kingfish is a big businessman and let him adopt the baby.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Calhoun.
Yeah.
And I know that once the Kingfish adopts this baby, he's going to take that job that Amos offered him and work hard to support it.
Well, sure.
I'll get in touch with the Kingfish right away and tell him the whole idea.
Yeah,
doctor said I didn't like the baby, but he got it all wrong. I'm crazy about the kid.
Oh, George, this is wonderful. When can we have it?
Well, I tell you, honey, there's just one little snag in the whole deal. But I think we found a way to overcome that. So keep your fingers crossed, honey.
Mr. Stevens.
Yes, Executive Secretary.
Mr. Phillips here from the founding home to see you.
Show him in, Executive Secretary.
Thank you. Right this way, Mr. Phillips. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Phillips, excuse me. Come right in and have a seat there. Yeah, I'm so busy here, I got to use both hands. Got so much signing to do. If I get any busier, I'll have to hire an octopus. Well, Mr. Phillips, have one of my expensive cigars. Genuine Kimona.
Thank you. I'll smoke it a little later.
Well, Mr. Phillips, I know what you're here for, so I guess you better get on with the interview. But I don't guess you'll mind my executive secretary, Mr. Brown, sitting in on the conference.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah, smart boy, that Brown. He been to Harvard.
Oh, yeah. Very interesting. Well, I'd like to get on with the investigation, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead and ask me anything you want, sir.
Now, about your business background, Mr. Stevens, just what type of business is this Acme Corporation?
You want to know what the business is here?
Yes, the Acme Corporation. What do you manufacture?
Well, I tell you, we've been making these things for 20 years. Funny how them little things can slip your mind, ain't it? The Acme Corporation,
Well, it means just what the name says. We are the corporation that manufactures Acmes.
Yeah, that's right. I tell you, these Harvard boys are sharp as tacks.
You manufacture Acmes?
Yeah, of course, we don't make the small Acmes. We just make the great big Acmes.
Big Acmes? Yeah, we make them out of plastic. Let me get this straight, Mr. Stevens. You make big plastic Acmes?
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. Stevens, I wonder if you'd be a little more explicit. You see, for the sake of the application, I have to put down something concrete.
Oh, well, put that down. We make them out of concrete, too.
Hello? This is Mr. Henderson of the Acme Corporation speaking. Yes, I just got back from Chicago, and I'd like to sign a contract with you this afternoon. Well, my office is just a couple of blocks from here, and I'll pick up the necessary papers. All right. Goodbye.
Well, now we come to the rather personal phase of the investigation, Mr. Stevens. Your financial status.
Well, I could tell you all that myself, but I wish my personal accountant was here. He could give you the actual figure. I said I wish my personal accountant was here.
Hi, Mr. Stevens.
Well, this ain't a coincidence. Algonquin J. Calhoun, my personal accountant. Mr. Calhoun, you know Mr. Brown.
Oh, yes.
And this is Mr. Phillips, who's investigating my finance. Maybe you could elucidate him up on my bank balance.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Now, let me see here. I deposited all the checks we received this morning and run them up on the ad machine and got the slip right here. Here it is, right here. Here it is. $742,864.19. It would have been more, but unfortunately, we run out of paper.
Well, Mr. Phillips, I guess that gives you all the financial information you need. Thank you, Mr. Calhoun.
Oh, not at all. It was a pleasure to serve you. Nice meeting you, Mr. Phillips. Good day. Well, I think that's all the information I'll be needing for the moment, Mr. Stevens. Oh, this pen must be leaking. I have ink all over my fingers. You mind if I use your washroom, Mr. Stevens?
Oh, no, go right ahead. I got a lot of signing to do here. I think it's right over there. They've been remodeling the office. I ain't quite sure.
Well, thank you. Mr. Stevens, just what is your position with this concern?
Oh, me? Why, I is the president. Yes, sir. I is the president.
Well, I've just been noticing this picture here on the wall, and according to that, Mr. Henderson is the president.
Yeah. Mr. Henderson was the president, but he done died.
Yeah, we was right at his bedside when he conked out. Well?
Son, I want to thank you for jumping in and explaining what this Acme Corporation is.
Yeah, I was really on my toes there, wasn't I?
You know, Andy, it was a lucky thing that Calhoun had the key to this place.
Yeah, and you sure made him think you was president of this company.
Yeah, and you want to know something funny? I probably would make a better president than that goof up there on the wall. Yeah, I talking about me. Why, I could run the whole... Andy, we ain't alone, is we? In other words, we got a threesome here. Well, by any chance, could this third party be...
Double check. I demand an immediate explanation of this.
Now, wait a minute, mister. Don't go calling the police or nothing. I can explain everything.
We don't mean no harm or nothing.
Another one.
But you told me you went to his funeral.
Well, all I can say, we must follow the wrong procession.
My funeral. What's going on here?
I don't know myself, but there's something funny going on here, and I'm getting out.
Look, you, what's going on here?
I don't know either, but it certainly should be looked into. I can help you.
And I'm going out of my money to look you. At least you can tell me who you are.
I'm a Harvard boy, a boola boola.
Oh, no.
Is that you, George, honey?
Yeah, it is me, honey. Down in the dumps, all right.
Oh, well, now, George, don't be so blue. I felt pretty bad at first myself, too, when you telephoned me the news that the foundling home decided not to let us have a child. But I cheered myself up.
Yeah, honey, but I had my heart set on having that baby. But on account of my financial background, they won't let us have him. I guess I just ain't no good.
Oh, now, George, don't feel so bad. Because I got some news for you.
Oh, what kind of news?
George, we're going to have a child after all.
Oh, honey. You mean?
Yes, George, and this one will be our very own flesh and blood.
Oh, honey, I can hardly believe it.
Well, George, it's true. He's going to live with us a whole year while his folks are in Mexico. Hi, Bobby!
Not him.
The Amos'n Andy Show has been presented by Black, Milwaukee's finest beer. The Amos'n Andy Show is shown to our armed forces overseas on film.